Hey, comic friends. I am about to make a submission to CBCS to get a number of books graded. My press has been going non-stop for at least the last 3 weeks, if not 4 weeks, getting this huge order ready. This order includes books from 4 customers and myself, so a total of 5 people in on this order for a total of 44 books that I am going to be sending in. So I thought it'd be fun to go over what is going to be sent in. Everything is done as far as the cleaning and pressing that needed to happen for these books get sent in. My plan is to place the order and package them up tonight and hopefully get them shipped out here very, very soon. Another thing that I'm sending in with this order, if you recall from my last CBCS unboxing, there was a bit of an issue with the Amazing Spider-Man 101s. One came back a 3 and one came back a 6. The problem is the one that's a 6 ended up in the 3.0 case, and the one that is a 3.0 ended up in the 6.0 case. Kind of an issue. So we got that straightened out with them. So I'm going to be sending these back, and they're going to be re-slabbing them, putting the books in the correct case or with the correct label. So those are going to be sent in as well. All right. So there is a huge diversity of books that's going to be sent in with this order from all across genres and ages and whatnot. So let's start. Where even to start? So this customer, really what they wanted, they weren't super concerned with the grades that came back, or even the books themselves. Not very concerned with value. These were books that are meaningful to them, and they loved reading growing up. It was just sort of defines their love of comics, and they just wanted them slabbed to present well so they could hang them up on their wall. But of course, they want them to be as good looking as possible, so went ahead and asked to have them pressed. We have, and that's not to say that these books are in bad condition. They're in good condition. X-Men number 4. So this is the first appearance of Omega Red. A good book to have. And X-Men 5. The second appearance of Omega Red. We have Venom Funeral Pyre number 1. Wolverine number 75 with that hologram put on the cover itself. I'm interested to see how that comes back, or what that looks like in a slab. I don't think I've seen one of those in person in a slab. Another one, X-Men number 25, similar thing. Have the hologram there on the cover. Spider-Man Unlimited number 1. So this is the first appearance of Shriek. Is it Shriek or Scream? Which one's? I think it's Shriek. First appearance of Shriek in there. No, again, a nice looking copy of that. Venom Lethal Protector number 1, and like Funeral Pyre, a nice shiny cover. It's a pretty iconic book, pretty iconic cover. It is the first Venom in his own solo title, and in pretty decent shape. And this has reached capacity, so let's put this down here. And the last book for this particular customer, this is a good one. Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 8. So of course it's the first appearance of the black costume, which becomes Venom. So it's very clear that this person, they were really into the 90s stuff. that X-Men run and the Venom stuff, and this obviously plays with the love for Venom. But these are nice, fun books, and it just kind of goes to show you that you don't need your books to be that you get worked on and graded to be these super valuable investments. Sometimes it's just you love it and you want to see it encased and look pretty, and that's what this customer is doing, and I was happy to help them with that. All right, so next up, so this next customer, well, we've talked about this one recently, haven't we? Venom number 3, first appearance of Null. If you have this, get it clean pressed and graded for sure. Vengeance number 1. This is I can't remember. It's the first appearance of somebody. I don't know. I think this book is heating up a little bit. I don't really recall off the top of my head. I know I looked it up when I was first taking in this order, but it escapes me at the moment. I don't think I had any notes on the invoice there, but that's going. Lady Killer number 1. I actually didn't know anything about this book, so I did a little research on it and looked it up, and it seems to be a fairly valuable number 1. Interesting. Obviously, when I was working on it, I got to flip through it a little bit. Looks interesting. Might be something I pick up in a trade to see kind of what it's about. And Resident Evil number 1. So I believe this is a promotional book, but it's very, very rare. This was sort of a big find for this customer. I don't expect this to come back in a super high grade. There is some liquid damage or water damage of some kind on the back that obviously I couldn't do anything about. But I kind of cleaned it up and pressed it as best as I could to make it as good looking as possible. And they know that the grade coming back isn't going to be super high because of that problem on the back. But it's just one of those things where this book is really important to that customer. So going back to investment isn't the only reason to sometimes get things worked on and graded. It's about your love for that thing and just wanting to see it present well. All right, let's see. That is all for that customer. Next, this is a different customer, but seeing this bad boy again, and we're seeing it again as well. They had 2 copies of Venom 3, so, and very wisely, if you have this, you should probably get it protected and get them pressed and graded to make sure that they are as valuable as they can be in case that you have to get rid of them. Another pair of books, 2 copies of Invincible Iron Man number 9. So this is the first appearance of Riri Williams, Ironheart, in the normal cover and the variant cover. This is the Horseman of the Apocalypse variant cover, which I believe is worth quite a bit. So they wanted to get both these copies. Again, books that are worth something and on the rise. Good idea to keep them in tip-top financial value. And the last from this customer is a nice-looking copy of Amazing Spider-Man 361, the first appearance of Carnage. And there are it is not perfect, but it is a nice-looking copy. So excited to see what that gets on the way back. So far, all kind of modern stuff. The next customer leans more towards Silver Age. And then, of course, eventually when we get to my stuff, I'm going to span all ages. They do have one modern book. Again, if you have this book, it's probably a good idea to take care of it. Teen Titans 12. This is the first appearance of the Batman Who Laughs, who is obviously really big in metal, whatever I don't read it, but I know that he's a big deal in it. And so he's been around for a little while. I kick myself for not picking a copy of that up a while ago. I remember I was talking with someone just about comics in general, and I mentioned, and this was when Batman Who Laughs is like just showed up, and I was like, I really feel like they're really gonna do a lot with this character. I don't know what, but I feel like they're really gonna do a lot with this character, and I didn't really take advantage of that. And then sure enough, they did. So I was an idiot, but it happens. You can't follow up on all your suspicions. Next, they have this is a nice copy of What If number 10. So this is the first Jane Foster as Thor. A nice copy. The binding on this is really nice. These square bounds usually the bottom part, because that's where a lot of the pressure comes into when it's sitting in a box, sort of smushed down. This is nice and square. Yeah, turned out nice, cleaned up nice. Showcase number 55. So this is the first Silver Age appearance of Solomon Grundy. A beautiful cover. I love this cover. Picking up Dr. Fate and about to chuck him at Hourman there. But a really nice book to have. Green Lantern number 40. Let's see. I believe this is the first appearance of the Guardians. So kind of a cool book to have. And this customer is a huge Green Lantern fan. You've probably seen some of his stuff in my videos before. Whenever you see old Green Lantern stuff, it's this person. He loves his Green Lantern, and he has some really fun Green Lantern stuff. So, and this is stuff that I don't have, and I probably never would get. So, it's just not my sort of character. But that being said, I part of the fun part about Titan Comic Pressing, about my business, is I get to get my hands on and work on and see and get close and intimate with a bunch of books I otherwise would probably never see, at least so close. So I kind of get to, and I get to leave my mark on them, not a literal mark, of course, and that would be bad, but my mark in that, hey, I had a part in that book, even though it's not sort of the path that I go down collecting wise. It does give me a chance to see some of that other stuff that I normally wouldn't see, because it's not going to be part of my collection, either because it's not something I collect, or it's something that's maybe like I just out of the price range, or whatever. Just I get to see cool stuff that I normally maybe would never get the chance to interact with. Another good book here, Brave and the Bold number 54. So this is the first appearance of the Teen Titans. And this book, it presents really, really well. There is a big tear on the back cover. That's obviously going to bring the grade down quite a bit. But again, it is what it is. If this book at any grade should probably can benefit from being slabbed. So he's going ahead and having that done, in addition to just his enjoyment of that book itself. And the last one from him. He's brought me in a lot of good stuff, and this is probably the first book that he's brought me that I've been like, oh, I'm really jealous. I really like this book. Fantastic Four number 55. Now it's not a super significant issue, a key issue or whatever. It is Silver Surfer showing up in Fantastic Four, but it's just that cover is so great. It's so beautiful, and this is a great looking copy. I mean, it's not high grade, but it presents really well. The colors are sharp. It's clean. Well, cleaner now that I'd worked on it. It's looking flat now that I pressed it. But this is a really good issue. I'm really jealous of him having that. All right, so that is all of the books for customers. Now, obviously, I can't not send some books in myself, right? I have to take care of that. Let's see. Yeah, these are in no particular order whatsoever. Though this one I do want to put back with something else because it's kind of prepared. All right. So most of these books you've seen already if you join me on my live stream where I kind of went through my collection and decided what are the things that I kind of want to have worked on and graded. I came up with a pretty big list. Since then, I've narrowed it down to, in this case, 21 books out of quite a few that are on that list. But these are the ones I'm going to send in now. The other ones are going to have to wait until the next order. So I have my copy of The Demon #1. And I don't expect, if you remember, if you did watch that live stream, or if you want to go back and watch that video, I'll go ahead and try to remember to link that as well. There's a lot of stuff that I get graded that I know isn't going to really increase its value very much. It's just, again, I love the book. I think they look sharp. I want to see them slabbed because I think that makes them look sharper. I'm not worried about not being able to see the interior. For example, this. I have a collection of all of the Demon. I can read the interior. I have read the interior. But if I want to see what's inside of it, I have that ability. That's not necessarily true with all the books. But some of these I wouldn't want to risk flipping through anyway. So, again, it's all about keeping things in their tip-top shape. So my first one is Demon #1. Great Kirby classic. Thor #337, the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill, and another nice. It's a nice copy. It's a high mid grade, low high grade. We'll see how it comes back, but it's just one of those that I feel is wise to have graded. It gets a pretty good boost in value when it's graded, and you know when I talk about value. I'm not doing this specifically for the value. The reasons that I grade my stuff is for my own personal reasons. I'm not planning on selling them, at least selling these. But it's the idea, again, that if something were to happen and I have to sell things, if I were to lose my job, if I got in an accident and had to pay huge medical bills that I couldn't afford or whatever, then I would probably have to resort to selling some of my comics very quickly. So I always want to make sure they're in the highest valuable state in case that happens, right? If I get in an accident tomorrow and I have to pay a bunch of money, I'm not going to have time to go back and say, oh man, I could get a lot more money out of this if I cleaned and pressed it and then sent it in and wait the number of weeks or months it takes to get that back and then to sell it. I need it to be ready to sell right then if that occurs. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully I never have to sell any of these that I don't intend on selling. But that's one of so when I talk about value, that's the importance of value to me. The grading itself is more as that it increases my enjoyment of these books. All right. Enough of that. Next, Milk and Cheese #1. If you've never read Milk and Cheese, and you are 18 and over, you should read Milk and Cheese. It is, Milk and Cheese, dairy products gone bad. This is a pretty high, this is close to high grade. It has some kinks in it, some stuff that wasn't able to be pressed out, but it's a sharp looking copy. Some of these books, I will also say, because I'm grading so many of them, I am doing a pre-screen on some of them. That I don't want them slabbed if they don't reach a certain grade, and that's mostly because I'm sending in so many. If I can sort of save myself a little bit of money if they don't meet a certain standard, then I can go ahead and do that. I know this is one of them. I think I wanted this at least at an 8.5. I don't know if the other. I don't remember off the top of my head all of which I had pre-screened and what the numbers were. I have them documented somewhere, but Anyway, I am doing some of that. So when I get these books back, they may not all be slabbed. They may have not passed the pre-screen. All right, some more Jack Kirby fun. Kamandi, The Last Boy on Earth, #1. This is one, again, it's not, the value of it isn't going to go up once it's slabbed, really. It's not that valuable of a book at all. It's Jack Kirby, and it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful book, a beautiful cover. It's in great shape. I'm hoping for about a 9.0 on that one, so I'd like to get that slabbed. Let's see this. So Spider-Man is Amazing Friends #1. This is the first in comics appearance of Firestar. This is not in Marvel continuity, but it is her first appearance in comics. This is something I got off of an auction. It was in kind of rough shape, but I did a little magic and made it in not that rough shape. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I recently posted some pictures of some befores and afters of this, of some pretty nasty crinks in the corner, visible on the front and really bad on the back. And the after pictures are, can't even tell I was there. So I was really happy when I got this book, when I saw like, oh man, all these defects are totally pressable, totally fixable, and it can bump the grade up quite a bit. So really excited to see what that comes back as. Let's see. All right, I'm going to do these next two. These have been featured in a recent video. I pulled both of these books. So this is Dark Knight's Death Metal 3 Art Germ variant, and this Star Wars #9 in amazing condition. I don't need these books. I don't really want these books. As they sit, they are not very valuable, but at a high grade, they become more valuable to a point where it's worth to get them graded and selling them, because I don't need them, right? I didn't buy them specifically to flip them. It's just they came to me in a mystery box, so I don't want them. If I can sell them, I'm going to sell them, and I'm better off having them graded before I sell them. I know I did put pre-screens on these. This is 9.8 or nothing, right? So that I did pre-screen. I do remember I pre-screened at a 9.8, and I think it has a good chance. This I think I pre-screened at like a 9.4, and I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities. Because of what great shape it is in. So hopefully those come back. Oops, looks like we're full here. Hopefully those come back actually slabbed. I hope they pass the pre-screen. And if you're interested in either of those, let me know, because they will be for sale. Next, Marvel Age #97. This is the first. I've talked about this. This is the first, quote-unquote, first appearance of Darkhawk in a preview. I disagree. But it is what it is, and it's in good shape, and I love Darkhawk, so I decided to go ahead and get that graded. This is a nice book. Marvel Spotlight 32. This is the first appearance of Spider-Woman. Really sharp. Really sharp condition on this one. So excited to see what that comes back as. Another nice Bronze Age. She-Hulk #1. First appearance of She-Hulk. Again, this cleaned up real nice. All those whites got really well cleaned up. Amazing Spider-Man 301, very iconic cover, playing off the cover of number 300. Again, also in very sharp shape. I mentioned this in my to grade or not to grade video. I'm not so sure about these print defects and how much they're gonna ding me on those. There's just ink on the cover, and it's clearly from the printer, so we'll see. But other than that, really sharp. Swamp Thing number 2. This is the first appearance of Anton Arcane. I love Swamp Thing. Love Swamp Thing. And Anton Arcane is an awesome villain that I think gets underutilized. But this book is in excellent shape. So I really wanted to see what that comes back as. All right, Amazing Spider-Man number 18. This is the first appearance of Ned Leeds. We've seen this before. I picked this up for a song. I way underpaid for this. It's the way the auction went. I was happy to underpay for it and then make it even more valuable by cleaning and pressing it. Another nice Silver Age Spidey, number 7. This is the second appearance of the Vulture. And it's not a super significant issue. It's a second appearance. It is a very low issue, obviously. The main reason I'm getting this one graded, even though it's really not going to increase the value of it, is I just want my Spidey 1 through 10 to all be slabbed. And this is between 1 through 10, so it's getting slabbed. Oh, man. We're getting there. We're getting there. So we have another pair. I sent a pair out last time. My Amazing Spidey 121 and 122. The Death of Gwen Stacy and Green Goblin. This time I'm going to send in my copies of Days of Future Past. They're both in decent shape. The 141 is in better shape, which is good. It's the more valuable one. But they're both pretty sharp. Though I am expecting the 141 to come back a bit higher. Yeah, this is really a nice personal book for me. Silver Surfer number 44. This is the first appearance of the Infinity Gauntlet. I'm a huge fan of Thanos and the Infinity series, so this just seemed kind of like a no-brainer, and it's in fantastic shape. Incredible Hulk number 449, first appearance of the Thunderbolts. Again, just kind of a nice book. Good set of a good first appearance and in decent shape. Amazing Spider-Man number 4. This is the first appearance of Silk. Same thing. Silk, fun Spidey character. Book is in great shape. I bought it off the shelf to read, but it's in immaculate shape. So, I always hope for a 9.8, right? But in this case, it's like, come on, it's a 9.8. And these I'm getting. So I have 2 copies of Paper Girls. I did not buy these as specs. I did not buy these recently. I bought these both off the shelf when it first came out. And I can't remember how I ended up with 2 copies of it. It probably has something to do with me going to 2 comic shops, having pull files at 2 comic shops, so I ended up with duplicates. It so happens that it is getting I think Netflix, or is it Amazon? I think it's Netflix series, and it's heating up a bit. I obviously don't need 2 copies of it. I would like to keep 1 copy of it, and I would probably sell off the second copy, because again, I don't need 2 copies of it. So I'm sending them both in. They're both in pretty good condition. It'd be hard to tell which one is better. So I'm sending them both in, and I'll decide what to do with each of them when I get them back. But I think that is it. That is all the books that are getting sent in. Again, I wanted to get this recorded before I pack these all up. Obviously, it's much harder to go over them if they are packed up. But that's 44 books. Wow, 44 books. That is definitely the biggest submission that I have ever sent in to be graded. I don't know if they're going to be happy or upset with me, especially considering they are all there's Marvel, DC, there's Indie, there's Silver all the way through Modern. There's a bunch of stuff in here, all across the board. So for me, that's fun. That's exciting. I don't know if that causes them problems, but I guess that's not my concern, right? But anyway, that's all. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you have any of these books that you're considering to have graded, or if you have them in a graded state already. And let me know what sort of grade you have on yours. But other than that, that is it. I will see you soon, and don't forget to make yours Titan. This video was brought to you by Titan Comic Pressing. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Titan Comic Pressing LLC.